Hello everyone, this is Sir Ricky, your mathematics teachers with Philippine Organization of Mentors in Mathematics. And today, we're going to discuss about some probable questions that might come out in the licensure examination for teachers, especially for general math and for mathematics major. Guys, aside from answering the questions, we will be presenting to you the detailed solutions and shortcuts for your reference. So, is everyone's ready? Let's go. Problem number 007. Evaluate the radical expression for the square root of 3 minus 6 square root of 12 plus 7 the square root of 75. So the choices are A, 27 the square root of 3, B, the 15 the square root of 10, C, 5 square root of 3, D, negative 15 the square root of 10. For the solution, we're going to simplify this radical expression. Notice that 4 square root of 3, this is already simplified. Minus 6 square root of 12. So 12, we're going to factor out 12 such that one factor is the greatest perfect square. So that's 4 and 3, right? That's 4. Okay. So that's 4 and 3 plus 7, the square root of 75. 75, can you give me a greatest factor that is a perfect square? So that's 25 times 3. Now 25 and 3. Okay, so this is it. 4 the square root of 3 minus 6. So 12. So that's the square root of 4 times 3 because 4 is a perfect square. Plus 7. 75. That's 25 times 3. Alright. Next, 4 the square root of 3 minus the square root of 4 is 2. 2 times negative 6 times the square root of 3 plus 7 times the square root of 25 is 5, the square root of 3. Okay, so for the square root of 3, 6 times 2, that's negative 12, the square root of 3, plus 7 times 5, that's 35, square root of 3. Since this is like radicals, we're going to combine all the numbers outside of the radicals. That's 4, negative 12, and 35. So 4 minus 12 plus 35 times the square root of 3, na? Alright, so 4 minus 12 plus 35, that's 27, the square root of 3. Obviously, the correct answer is letter A. Problem number 008. Which of the following coordinates of points does not belong to the solution set of the inequality y less than 2x squared plus 5x minus 1? The choices are A, that's 4, 15, B, 2, 9, C, negative 3, 2, D, 3, 1. Notice that our choices are, these are coordinates, no? Coordinates of points. For the first coordinate, that's x, and the second one is 15. Okay, solution. Now, we're going to use the following choices to check which of the following point does not belong to the group. Now, let's say, for example, for letter A, our y is 15 and our x is 4. Now, we're going to substitute 4 and x here. So, we have 15, that's y less than 2. Your x is 4 squared plus 5 times x. So, x is 4 minus 1. To simplify, this is 15 less than 4 squared, that's 16 times 2, that's 32, plus 5 times 4, 20, minus 1, combine. So 15 less than 32 plus 20, that's 52 minus 1, 51. Is this correct? 15 less than 51? Yes, that's correct, no? That's true. Next, for letter B, x is 2, y is 9. Okay, so this is y 9 less than 2 times 2 squared, because our x is 2 squared plus 5 times x is 2 minus 1. So simplify, 9 less than 2 squared, that's 4 times 2, 8, plus 5 times 2, 10 minus 1. This is equal to 9 less than 70. Is this true or false? Also true. Okay. Take note that we're looking for coordinates of the point which does not belong to this inequality. So meaning we're looking for false. Letter C, x is negative 3, y is 2. So we have this inequality, y 2 less than 2, our x negative 3 squared plus 5 times negative 3 minus 1. So we're going to simplify this. This equal to 2 less than negative 3 times negative 3, that's positive 9 times 2, that's positive 18. 5 times negative 3, negative 15 minus 1. So this is 2 less than 2. Is this true, false? Oh, that's false. Okay, so meaning this is the right answer. But we'll proceed to letter D. 1 less than 2 times 3 squared, because our x is 3, plus 5 times our x is 3, minus 1. To simplify, we have 1 less than 3 squared, that's 9, times 2, that's 18, plus 5 times 3, 15, minus 1. Okay, that's 1 less than 18 plus 15, that's 33, minus 1, that's 32. So 1 less than 32, this is true. So meaning to say, our correct answer is letter C, which is false, meaning points negative 3 and 2 does not belong to this inequality y less than 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. So that's letter C. Problem number 009. Find the value of tangent theta if secant theta is equal to negative the square root of 7 over 2 and sine theta not in quadrant 2. This is a trigonometry. Choices are A, negative the square root of 7, B, the square root of 21 over 7, C, negative the square root of 7 over 3, and D, the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so solution. The given is secant theta is equal to negative the square root of 7 over 2. And sine theta does not in quadrant 2. And by the way, this is a Cartesian coordinate plane. Alright? So, notice that this area is quadrant 1. And this is quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Alright, in quadrant 1, cosine is positive, sine is positive, no? Because cosine represent x coordinate or cosine, y coordinate or sine. For quadrant 2, cosine is negative, sine is positive. In quadrant 3, cosine is negative, sine is negative. In quadrant 4, cosine is positive, sine is negative. We have this restriction. Sine not in quadrant 2. So meaning not in quadrant 2. Okay, so we're looking for theta. So our theta is an angle. So meaning the given is secant theta. So we have this identity in trigonometry that cosine theta is equal to 1 over secant theta. Alright? So, meaning to say, this is equal to, so over cosine, if this is given the square root, negative square root of 7 over 2, that's secant. So, meaning our cosine is negative 2 over the square root of 7. Alright? Okay. So, it simply shows that our cosine is negative. Okay? So, meaning, we'll try to check in this, which quadrant the cosine is negative, so in quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. And the sine, but we have this restriction that sine not in quadrant 2. So, if it is not in quadrant 2, so meaning to say, it's in quadrant 3. Why? Because in quadrant 2, cosine is negative. Quadrant 3, cosine is negative. But the sine is positive. But it is not found in quadrant 2. So meaning it's in quadrant 3. And sine in quadrant 3 is negative. Okay. Now, we have this right triangle. Alright, so this is our theta. Theta represent a known angle. Okay, for theta, if this cosine, when you speak of cosine, that's adjacent side over hypotenuse. Alright, so never mind the sign. No, it simply shows that our cosine is negative. Alright, so when you speak of cosine, that's adjacent side. If this is your theta, adjacent side is 2 and the hypotenuse is 7. Okay, now in this case, we're going to solve for B. We're going to solve for B so that we can get our sine value. So in this case, we will be using the Pythagorean Theorem. Alright? So that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's Pythagorean Theorem. Now, our adjacent side is the square of 2. That's 2 squared plus our opposite side. That's b squared is equal to, and our hypotenuse is the square root of 7 squared. To simplify, we have, so b squared, that's the square root of 7 squared. So cancel square root and squared. So that's 7. And 2 squared is 4. So b squared is equal to 7 minus 3. So b now is the square root of 3. So meaning this is the square root of 3. Okay. Now we're going to find the sine. So what's the sine? Obviously, the sine is opposite side over hypotenuse. But in the question, we need to find the tangent. Alright? When we speak of tangent, that's sine over cosine or sine theta over cosine theta. Or simply, that's opposite side over adjacent side. So meaning, our tangent theta is equal to opposite side. So if this is your theta, opposite side is the square root of b. I'm sorry, the square root of 3 over 2. Opposite side over adjacent side, that's the square root of 3 over 2, no? Since our cosine is in quadrant 3, sine and cosine are negative. So tangent, that's equal to sine over cosine. So meaning that's negative over negative. So definitely our tangent in quadrant 3 is positive. So that's why we have this value, the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so that's letter D. Problem number 010. If two angles of a triangle measures 68 degrees and 110 degrees, what is the measure of the third angle? This is a geometry. The choices are A, 2 degrees, B, 12 degrees, C, 22 degrees, D, 178 degrees. Always remember that the sum of the angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. Okay, solution. Let x the measure of the third angle. So this is the formula. You're going to add the measures of the two angles of a triangle and then add x, which is a known number, that's equal to 180 degrees. So this is equal to x, because 68 plus 110, that's 178. So x now is equal to 180 degrees minus 178 degrees. X now is 2 degrees. Alright? So the correct answer is letter A. Problem number 011. Simplify x raised to negative 1 plus y raised to negative 1 over x raised to negative 2 plus y raised to negative 2. The choices are A, y minus x over xy, B, xy over y minus x, C, x plus y over x minus y, D, x minus y over x plus y. Okay, solution. Now, in this given expression, we're going to convert this to positive exponents. Alright? So, this is equal to x raised to negative 1, that's equal to 1 over x. So we have now a positive exponent. So from negative to positive exponents, if you have x raised to negative 1, that's 1 over x. Alright? Plus y raised to negative 1, that's 1 over y. Over x raised to negative 2, that's 1 over x squared. Minus y over 1 over y squared. So y raised to negative 2, that's 1 over y squared. Okay, to simplify, we're going to find the LCD of your numerator. So the LCD would be xy. Xy divided by x, that's y. Y times 1, y. Plus xy divided by y, the answer is x times 1, x. Over the LCD of your denominator, here, x squared y squared, of course, x squared y squared. X squared y squared divided by x squared, the quotient is y squared times 1, this is y squared. Minus x squared y squared divided by y squared, so that's x squared times 1, x squared. Alright, next. For the numerator, y plus x over xy, this is our numerator, we're going to multiply the reciprocal of your denominator. So the reciprocal of y squared minus x squared over x squared y squared is y squared, x squared y squared over y squared minus x squared. Next, we're going to cancel xy and x squared y squared. So this is equal to, since this is equal to xy squared, so meaning there are 2 xy, so cancel 1, so remain is xy. Next, quantity y plus x, quantity times xy, this is xy, over y squared minus x squared. You need to factor this out. So the factors are y minus x, or y plus x times y minus x, because this is the difference of two squares. And after that, you have to cancel y plus x, y plus x. So the final answer would be xy over y minus x. Alright, so the correct answer is letter B. Problem number 12. Which of the following is always true? Letter A, vertical angles are complementary. Letter B, vertical angles are supplementary. C, vertical angles are acute angles. And D, vertical angles are congruent. Okay, solution. We have this illustration, angle alpha and angle beta. So alpha and beta are opposite angles, okay, or vertical angles. Vertical angles are complementary for letter A. So is it angle alpha and angle beta are complementary? So meaning the sum is equal to 90 degrees? Wrong. So letter A is not the right answer. Letter B, vertical angles are supplementary. So meaning the sum of angle alpha and angle beta is equal to 180 degrees? Wrong. Letter B is not the right answer. For letter C, vertical angles are acute angles. So meaning the measure of the vertical angles, the two angles are acute. Partially true, because in this case, the two angles are acute, but not all cases. For letter D, vertical angles are congruent. So meaning the measure of angle alpha is equal to the measure of angle beta. Okay, I think this is correct. No? So the right answer is letter D. Problem number 013. Determine the quadrant in which the terminal side of negative 330 degrees lies. For the choices, A, quadrant 1, B, quadrant 2, C, quadrant 3, D, quadrant 4. For the solution, this is a Cartesian coordinate plane. And by the way, this is the initial side of the angle. And this is the terminal side. Okay? This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Since the angle is negative, so meaning to say the direction is clockwise. If it is positive, so meaning from the initial side, you rotate by counterclockwise. Now in this case, it is clockwise. Okay, by the way, this is 0 degrees, this is 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and 360 degrees. Now we're going to locate that negative 330 degrees. So that's, if this negative, this is from 0, 90, 180, 270, 330. So this is the angle negative 330 degrees. So the terminal side is in quadrant 1. Alright, so I think the correct answer is letter A, quadrant 1. Problem number 014. The temperature in degrees Celsius on 4 consecutive days was 25, 32, 28, and 27. What is the mean temperature over the 4 days? So this is a problem in statistics. The choices are letter A, 25 degrees centigrade, B, 27 degrees centigrade, C, 28 degrees centigrade, or D, 29 degrees centigrade or Celsius. Alright, solution. Now this is average. Alright, so this is the formula. We're going to sum up, or we get the sum of the 4 temperatures and divide that by 4 since we're looking for the average. So 25 plus 32 plus 28 plus 27 over 4. So the sum is equal to 112 over 4. This is equal to 28. So that's letter C. Problem number 015. This is geometry. How long is the diagonal of a square garden if its area is 200 meters squared? The choices are A, 10 the square root of 2 meters, B, 10 the square root of 3 meters, C, 20 meters, D, 40 meters. Okay, for the solution, this is a square garden. This is the diagonal of a square garden. Let D is the diagonal of a square garden. Okay, take note that the area is equal to 200 meter squared. So we're looking for the measure of the side. So we have this formula. Area is equal to the square of the side. No? This is the area of a square. Okay, so we're going to square the side. But we do not know what is the measure of each side. So we interchange. S squared is equals to 200 because A is 200. Now we're going to solve for S, or we're going to solve for the side. No? So we will take the square root of both sides. So that's the square root of S squared is equal to the square root of 200. S now is equal to the square root of 200. So plus minus, since this is, we're talking of the measure, so there's no negative measure. So S is equal to 200. To solve for D, we are going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. Alright, so we're going to get the square of the two sides, the sum of the squares of two sides. So one side is the square of 200. Since this is a square, we know that all sides are congruent. So the square of 200 squared is 1. The square of 200 squared is equal to D squared. We do not know what is the value of D. So the square of 200 squared is 200. Okay, we interchange the formula. It does not affect really. No? So the square of 200 squared, that's 200. The square of 200 squared is 200. So this squared now is equal to the square of 400, because you take the square root of D squared and then the square root of 400. So D now is 400. So meaning our D is 20. Alright, so meaning the diagonal of this square having an area of 200 meters squared is equal to 20, where the sides, the measure of the side is equal to the square root of 200. So this is 20. So the right answer is letter C. Problem number 016. What is the slope of the line determined by the equation 3x plus y is equal to 4. Okay, the choices are A, 3, B, negative 3, C, 1/3, D, negative 1/3. So meaning to say, we're looking for the slope. Alright? Solution. This is the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. So y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So we are interested to find the slope of this line. Alright, 3x plus y is equal to 4. So meaning to say, we're going to solve for y. Alright, so add both sides by negative 3x to isolate y. Okay, 3x minus 3x plus y is equal to negative 3x plus 4. So this is 0. So y now is equal to negative 3x plus 4. Okay, based on the equation, this is y is equal to mx plus b. So the coefficient of x will be the slope. So in our equation here, so y equals negative 3x plus 4, negative 3 is the slope. So the right answer is letter B. The slope is negative 3. Problem number 017. What values of x make the expression undefined? X cubed plus 5x squared minus x plus 300 over x squared minus 4x minus 21. So, to make this expression undefined, so meaning to say, the denominator will become 0. Anyway, the choices are A, negative 21 and 4, B, negative 4 and 21, C, negative 7 and 3, D, negative 3 and 7. So, this is a solution. To make this expression undefined, the denominator should be equal to 0. So, we will equate x squared minus 4x minus 21 equal to 0. We will solve for the roots of this quadratic equation. This is our product, negative 21, and the sum is negative 4. So, I'm going to say by factoring, we're going to find two numbers, wherein the product is equals to negative 21 and the sum is negative 4. So, can you think of that two numbers? When you multiply, the product is negative 21 and the sum is negative 4. The factors are negative 7 and 3. The factors are quantity x minus 7 quantity times quantity x plus 3 quantity is equal to 0. These are the factors. Alright, then we will have to equate each factor to 0. X minus 7 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. So we have x is equal to 7 and x plus 3 equal to 0. That's x is equal to negative 3. So I'm going to say, this quadratic expression will become undefined if the value of x is 7 and negative 3. Alright, so the correct answer is letter D. Problem number 018. Find the equation of the line that passes through the points 3, 2, and 5, negative 2. The choices are y is equal to 2x minus 8, B, y is equal to negative 2x plus 8, C, y is equal to 2x plus 4, and D, y is equals to negative 2x minus 4. Notice that the choices are in the form of y equals mx plus b or the slope-intercept form. Alright, this is the solution. Now, can you still recall what is this equation? This is equation of the line. It is called a slope-intercept form because m is the slope. By the way, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, to solve for the slope, mean to say we're going to find the slope first to get the equation of the line. The equation of the slope, this is y over run. The equation is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Alright, by the way, given 2 points, so it's up to you to identify where is your x sub 1, y sub 1. or x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay, so in our case, this is x sub 1, y sub 1, the 3, 2. For x sub 2, y sub 2, 5, negative 2. We will use this in our equation for the slope. Okay, by substitution, we have y sub 2, that's negative 2, minus y sub 1, 2, minus 2, over x sub 2, 5, minus x sub 1 is 3. So we have negative 2 minus 2 over 5 minus 3. This is equal to negative 4 over 2, or this is equal to negative 2. So meaning the slope is negative 2. Alright? Next, we're going to use the point slope form. So meaning to say, given a point and a slope, we can generate the equation of the line. Now for the points, it's up to us to choose whether it's 3, 2, or 5, negative 2. It does not matter. No, the result is still the same. So we will use 3, 2 as our point. Okay, the equation, this is the equation of the point slope form. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m quantity x minus x sub 1. So m is the slope, and y sub 1, I mean x sub 1 and y sub 1 is the point, which is 3, 2. By substitution, we have y minus y sub 1 is 2, minus 2 equals, our slope is negative 2, okay, times x minus 3, which is the x sub 1. And then solve for y. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3, that's positive 6. We're going to isolate y, add both sides by positive 2. Alright, so y is equal to negative 2x plus 6 plus 2, that's 8. So our equation would be y is equal to negative 2x plus 8. So obviously that's letter B. Problem number 018. Find the domain of the graph. This one is the graph. So we're going to find the domain. For the choices, letter A, that's from negative 1 to positive infinity. Negative 1 is included. B, the 0 to positive infinity. 0 is not included. C, from negative infinity to positive infinity. D, all real numbers except negative 1. Okay, for the solution. First, what is a domain of a function? The domain of a function is the set of all allowable values of the independent variable, commonly known as x values. Now, in our illustration, this is a parabola opening upward. When you speak of domain, we're going to think of the allowable values for x. This is our x coordinate, okay, and this is y. We're in the graph of the parabola. This one, it extends infinitely, while this one, it extends infinitely. So, meaning to say, the domain of this parabola is from negative infinity to positive infinity. So meaning all real numbers. Problem number 020. The length of the rectangle is x plus 10 and its width is x plus 5. Which expression represents the perimeter of the rectangle? For the choices, A, 2x plus 5, B, quantity x plus 10 quantity times quantity x plus 5 quantity, C, quantity x plus 10 quantity squared plus quantity x plus 5 quantity squared, D, 2 times quantity x plus 10 quantity plus 2 times quantity x plus 5 quantity. For the solution, this is the rectangle and x plus 10 is the length as given, while x plus 5 is the width. So the formula for the perimeter is P is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. By substitution, P is equal to 2 times quantity x plus 10 quantity, because this is the length, plus 2 times quantity x plus 5 quantity, this is the width. Obviously, the correct answer is letter D. Problem number 021. The product of two consecutive integers is 756. What is the smaller number? The choices are A, 26, B, 27, C, 33, D, 36. For the solution, let x, smaller number, x plus 1, the bigger number. So our equation would be smaller number times the bigger number, which is consecutive number, is equal to 756. Okay. Now, we will distribute. We multiply x times x, that's x squared, plus x times 1, x equals 756. Then we're going to subtract both sides of the equation by 756 to make this 0. So we have now x squared plus x minus 756 is equal to 756 minus 756, that's 0. And then this is now a quadratic equation. So we're going to find the factors. So can you think of numbers, two numbers? The product is negative 756 and the sum is positive 1. Since this is an examination, so you can use calculator. So during the licensure examination, I think calculator is allowed. So all you have to do is to divide 756 by any of these numbers, so that you can get the larger and the smaller numbers. But in our solution, the factors are x minus 27 times our quantity x minus 27 quantity times x plus 28 quantity is equal to 0. Alright, because negative 27 times positive 28, that's negative 756. And negative 27 plus positive 28 is equal to 1. So we will equate the factors to 0 to solve for the value of x. This is equal to, x is equal to 27, because when you equate this to 0, so you're going to add both sides by 27. So x now is 27, or x is negative 28. So we will not use negative 28 because from the choices there's no negative. So we will use 27. So definitely if the smaller number is 27, the larger number is 28. But the question is, what is the smaller number? So our answer would be 27. Okay, there's a simple substitution. All right. 756 divided by 26 for letter A, or okay, so this is equal to 29.077. So this is not the right answer. Letter B, 756 divided by 27 is equal to 28. Alright, so this is what we're looking for, 28 and 27. So they're consecutive, so meaning the correct answer is 27. However, we will proceed. 756 divided by 33, no, 22.9, so it's not a whole number. 756 divided by 36, that's 21. 21 and 36 are not consecutive numbers. So definitely our smaller number is 27 and our larger number is 28. So it's letter B. Problem number 022. What is the minimum value of a quadratic equation f of x is equal to 2 times quantity x minus 4 quantity squared plus 5? For the choices, A is equal to negative 4, B 2, C negative 3, D 5. For the solution, we have this vertex form of the quadratic equation. F of x is equal to A times quantity x minus h quantity squared plus k, where hk is the vertex of the quadratic equation. So based on the given, we can easily identify the vertex of this quadratic equation, because we need the vertex to identify the minimum value of the quadratic equation. Take note that if a is greater than 0, the parabola opens upward. So we have a minimum point. If a is negative, the parabola opens downward. So we have a maximum. So in this case, the given equation has a minimum value. So we will find that minimum value. So we will find the vertex of this equation, the quadratic equation. So it is equal to 4, 5. So h, if it is negative, so change this to the opposite sign, that's positive 4 and then 5. Or the minimum value is 5. Okay, so meaning the minimum value of a quadratic equation, if this in vertex form, is k. So the correct answer is letter D. Problem number 023. Compute quantity 5,000 quantity times quantity 5,000 raised to 5,000 quantity. For the choices, letter A, that's 25 million raised to 5,000. B, 5,000 raised to 25 million. C, 25 million raised to 5,001. D, 5,000 raised to 5,001. For the solution, this is the given. Okay, we know that 5,000 is equal to 5,000 raised to 1, right? Okay, so meaning that's 5,000 raised to 1. We will substitute 5,000 to 5,000 raised to 1 times 5,000 raised to 5,000. We will apply the laws of exponent, multiplying two exponential expressions with the same base. All you have to do is to copy the base and add the exponents. The common base is 5,000 and we shall add the exponents. So the exponents are 1 plus 5,000. So this is equal to 5,000 raised to 5,001. So definitely the correct answer is letter D, which is 5,000 raised to 5,001. Problem number 024. What is the solution of 3 raised to 3x is equal to 81 raised to x minus 4? This is algebra. The choices are A, 0, B, 3, C, 8, D, 16. For the solution, 3 raised to 3x is equal to 81 raised to x minus 4. We can't set the exponents equal because we don't have the same base. So all we have to do is to manipulate 81 so that we can have a base. So we have 81 is equals to 3 raised to 4, right? Because 3 raised to 4, 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 27 times 3, 81. So we will substitute 81 by 3 raised to 4. So we have 3 raised to 3x is equal to 3 raised to 4 raised to x minus 4. So we already have the same base. So we will equate the exponents. 3x is equal to 4 times quantity x minus 4. Okay, 3x is equal to 4 times x, 4x, 4 times negative 4, that's negative 16. Now we're going to solve for x. We will subtract both sides of an equation by 3x. Okay, 3x minus 3x is equal to 4x minus 3x minus 16. To simplify, this is 0 equals x minus 16. X now is equal to 16 because add both sides by 16. So 0 plus 16 is 16 and x plus 0. So x is equal to 16. Obviously, the correct answer is letter D. Problem number 025. Which value of k will make x squared minus 2/3 x plus k a perfect square trinomial? For the choices, A, 4 over 9, B, 1 over 9, C, 3 over 2, D, 9 over 25. For the solution, we will use the completing the square process. To do the completing the square process, we have this given x squared minus 2/3 x plus k. By completing the square, we are going to divide 2/3 by 2, or simply multiply to the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2. This is equal to cancel 2, so we have 1/3 and then square it. This is equal to 1 times 1, 1, 3 squared, that's 3 times 3, 9. So the value of k is 1 over 9. Okay, so x squared minus 2/3 x plus 1 over 9 is now a perfect square trinomial. So the correct answer is letter B. Problem number 026. Find the value of 2x raised to 1/2 plus 5x raised to 0 minus 3x raised to negative 1/2 when x is equal to 25. This is algebra. Alright? So for the choices, we have 72 over 5 for A, B 51 over 5, C 47 over 5, D 0. For the solution, we have this original expression. We will substitute 25 for x. Okay, so we have 2x raised to 1/2 plus 5x raised to 0 minus, since we have a negative exponent, so we'll make it positive by negative 3 over x raised to 1/2. Alright, so by substitution, we have 2 times 25 raised to 1/2 plus 5x raised to 0. Our x is 25 raised to 0 minus 3 over 25 raised to 1/2. Okay, this is equal to 2 times 25 raised to 1/2 is the same as the square root of 25, which is 5, plus 5, 25 raised to 0 is 1, because any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. 1 times 5 is 5, minus 3 over 25 raised to 1/2. It is equal to the square root of 25, which is equal to 5. So we have now 2 times 5, that's 10, plus 5, that's 15, minus 3 over 5. It is equal to 15 times 5, that's 75, minus 3, that's 72 over 5. So this is now the value of the expression 2x raised to 1/2 plus 5x raised to 0 minus 3x raised to negative 1/2. So it's letter A. Problem number 026. If 6th term of the arithmetic progression is 27 and the 12th term is 48, find the first term. This is algebra problem. We have the choices: A, 19 over 3, B, 7 halves, C, 9 and 1/2, D, 27. Okay, for the solution, we have this formula for arithmetic progression. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus quantity n minus 1 quantity times D. Okay, if we have this example, this is an example of arithmetic progression or arithmetic series. Okay, so 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, and so on and so forth. Our a sub 1 is the first term. Okay, so our first term here is 5, second term 8, third term 11. Our n number of terms, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So that's n. D, the common difference. Okay, so meaning to say, from the series, there's a common difference between two numbers. Let's say, for example, 8, 5, 8. Okay, so the common difference here is 3. All right, because 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3, 11. 11 plus 3, 14. 14 plus 3, 17, 17 plus 3, 20, 20 plus 3, 23, 23, 26, 29, 30, 31, 32, and so on and so forth. So that's the common difference. Or 8 minus 5, that's 3. 11 minus 8, that's 3. 14 minus 8, that's 11. So meaning there's a common or a fixed difference between two numbers in the series. Okay, so a sub n is the last or the nth term. So meaning to say our first term, a sub 1, 5, a sub 2, 8, a sub 3, 11, a sub 4, 14. No? So if you want to get the 70th term or a70, so meaning to say you continue the series and then you will have to get the 70th term. Okay, so we have two relationships here. For a sub 6, okay, the given is a sub 6, that's 27. So a sub 6 is equal to 27, which is equal to a sub 1 plus 5d. The formula for a sub 6 is equal to 27, is equal to a sub 1 plus 5d. This is the formula because if our n is 6, when we substitute n for 6, we have 6 minus 1, that's 5, 5 times d, so that's 5d, and then a sub 1, so this is the formula for the 6th term. While for the 12th term, 12th term is 48, so a sub 12 is 48, which is equal to a sub 1 plus 11d, because 12 minus 1, that's 11d. Okay, so at this point, we will use subtraction to deal with these two mathematical equation, right? So first we have 27 is equal to a sub 1 plus 5d. Okay, this is your first equation, and the second equation is 48 is equal to a sub 1 plus 11d. So we will do subtraction. Okay, this is equal to 27 is equal to a sub 1 plus 5d. This is for our first equation. And for the second equation, we're going to change the sign of our subtrahend. This is our minuend. This is our subtrahend. So the rule for subtraction, we will have to change the sign of your subtrahend. So it will become negative 48. Okay, is equal to, for positive a sub 1, that's negative a sub 1. And for positive 11d, that's negative 11d. And then we will do subtraction. Alright? So 27 plus negative 48, that's negative 21, is equal to a sub 1 plus negative a sub 1, that's 0. Positive 5d plus negative 11d, that's negative 6d. Okay? So we are going to isolate d. Okay, so we will divide both sides of an equation of the equations by negative 6. So we have negative 21 divided by negative 6 is equal to negative 6d over negative 6. So we will cancel negative 6, and then negative 21 divided by negative 6, that's equal to 7 halves. So the value of d now is 7 halves. We will use the value for d, which is 7 halves, to solve for a sub 1 in either of the two equations. So we will use equation number 1 by substitution. So a sub 1 plus 5d is equal to 27. What if d is 7 halves? So this is equal to a sub 1 plus 5 times 7 halves is equal to 27. Then we will isolate a sub 1, okay, by subtracting both sides of an equation by 5 times 7 halves. So we have this, a sub 1 is equal to 27 minus 5 times 7 halves. And then we will simplify 5 times 7 halves. So of course negative 5 times 7, that's negative 35 over 2. So we have a sub 1 is equal to 27 minus 35 over 2. Okay, to solve for a sub 1, we're going to cross multiply. That's 2 times 27, that's 54, minus 35 over 2. And that's a sub 1 is equals to 19 over 2. Alright, because 54 minus 35, that's 19 over 2, or 9 and 1 half. So this is what we're looking for. The value of a is equal to 9 and 1 half. Okay, so obviously the correct answer is letter C. Problem number 027. What is the simplified form of the square root of 2 over the fourth root of 2? This is an algebra problem. For the choices, A, the fourth root of 2 over 2, B, the fourth root of 2, C, 2 times the fourth root of 2, D, 4 times the fifth root of 2 all over 3. Alright, for the solution, the radical expression, the square root of 2 over the fourth root of 2 is in simplified form if there's no radical or radical expression in the denominator. So we're going to look for a particular number such that when we multiply to the numerator and denominator, we can easily remove the radical sign in the denominator. So, and that's the fourth root of 2 cubed. Why? Because the fourth root of 2 times the fourth root of 2 cubed is equal to the fourth root of 2 raised to 4. And 2 raised to 4 is 16. And the fourth root of 16 is 2. Okay? So, take note that multiplying the same number with the numerator and denominator does not affect the result. So, we will simplify this. We will get the product of the numerator, the square root of 2 times the fourth root of 2 cubed over, so this is it, no? The fourth root of 2 raised to 4. So we will cancel the fourth root and the exponent, so the remaining is 2. So there's no radical. Okay, so we will convert this to rational exponent so that we can apply the loss of exponents. Okay, so notice that we have the same base. If we have the same base, so all we have to do is to add exponents. Okay, so 2 raised to 1 half times 2 raised to 3/4 over 2. This is equal to 2 raised to 1 half plus 3/4 over 2. This is equal to 2. Now the LCD is 4. 4 divided by 2, that's 2. 2 times 1, that's 2. 4 divided by 4, 1. 1 times 3, 3. So that's 2 raised to 5 over 4 over 2. Okay, so we will convert this to radical expression. This is equal to, notice that our denominator in the exponent will become the index and the numerator will become the exponent of 2. So we have the fourth root of 2 raised to 4, the index is 4, and the exponent of 2 is 5 over 2. This is equal to, we can still simplify this by the fourth root of 2 raised to 4 times 2 raised to 1, because 2 raised to 4 times 2 raised to 1, that's 2 raised to 5 over 2. Okay, the fourth root of 2 raised to 4 is equal to 2. Okay, so the remaining inside the radical sign is 2 raised to 1 or 2 over 2. Then we can cancel 2. Okay, so the final answer would be the fourth root of 2, which is letter B. Problem number 028. Which of the following statement is false? A. All natural numbers are whole numbers. B. All natural numbers are integers. C. All whole numbers are integers. D. None of this. For the solution, in the choices we are talking of natural numbers, whole numbers, and integers. So when we speak of natural numbers, these are numbers that start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth, up to positive infinity. For whole numbers, the set includes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. While the integers, it is composed of negative numbers and positive numbers including 0. Alright? So, we will Check choice letter A. All natural numbers are whole numbers. Do you think this is true? Take note that natural numbers starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, and whole numbers starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No? For letter A, definitely natural numbers is a subset of whole numbers. So this is true. For letter B, all natural numbers are integers. Take note that our natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our integers composed of positive and negative numbers including 0. And the natural numbers is a part of the integers. So definitely natural numbers is a subset of integers, and this is true. For letter C, all whole numbers are integers. Take note that whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and integers composed of positive and negative numbers including 0. So meaning to say whole numbers is part of the integers, and also it is a subset of integers. Okay, for letter D, none of this. So definitely A, B, and C are true. So D, the correct answer is letter D. By the way, before we end, we just would like to make a shout out to our more than 700 subscribers and still increasing for the trust and confidence to Pomi channel. Please continue watching our videos and share your thoughts about the lesson presented. If you think it has brought importance to you, don't hesitate to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated with our latest video. See you next time. Bye from Palmy 2020.